Christmas Day 2006, Flushing, Queens, New York. Parishioners at the Church of St. Mel greet each other with Christmas wishes at the morning mass.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas is finally here.
Pastor Christopher Tuzani is giving his annual Christmas sermon. Richard Cheetos is busy lending a hand during the festive day.
I had volunteered to be an usher at the church, and an usher's responsibility is to seat people, and also when it came time to collections, we went around and we collected the money for the offerings.
After multiple masses, the donation coffers are full. Richard's wife, Julia, attends all of the Christmas weekend services.
On a holiday, you have many more people, and people are generous. They had 3 masses for sure that they were collecting from on Christmas Day.
There's even a special collection for needy children in Brooklyn and Queens.
Honestly, look.
At the same time, a couple of greedy Grinches are getting ready to spoil the holiday. Dennis Almodovar and Daniel Morales are an unlikely fit for this Christmas caper. These childhood friends are first-time criminals who are tempted to make some quick cash by stealing the Christmas donations.
Everyone's gonna be in church. It's Christmas Day. No one's gonna see us.
They've been given inside information on where to find the safe and the combination to crack it. To ensure the heist goes unnoticed, a set of distractions will keep the congregation looking the other way.
There's a lot of money in here, dude. I know. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, buddy.
Meanwhile, back in the church, the ushers finish the collections and take the money back to the sacristy. It's a room behind the altar where money is counted and locked away. The congregation has been generous, and the needy children will have a Merry Christmas indeed. Before they finish counting, this Christmas caper gets underway.
They said they heard a loud noise in the basement, and they both wanted to go investigate because they were afraid to go by themselves.
Like it came from the basement.
There was a diversion, and they were called down by the sound, and so they went down into the basement, and they didn't find anyone.
And like clockwork, Dennis and Daniel arrive on time and slip in through the side door. Everything's going according to plan.
What are you doing? Where is it? Ooh, got it. All right. What? You're making me nervous. Calm down.
It's the spirit of the season to give. We all know what it's like to get that perfect present. But to give is even grander.
Open.
The holiday hooligans check out their Christmas bonanza. More than $20,000 in checks and cash. The other distraction is ready. She wants everyone to focus on her while the thieves slip away.
A woman behind me started feeling ill and fainted.
Julia Cheetos senses something's not quite right.
No one recognized her, and no one knew, and we're all asking each other, who was it? Because we're a family. We all know each other. We all attend the same Mass every Sunday.
At the same time, Richard Cheetos is in the back of the church, wondering what happened to the other ushers, when he notices something strange.
I see someone leaving a locked room.
Hey.
And behind him was a second individual.
Hey.
Richard has never seen them before, and he is immediately suspicious.
What are you doing?
And I yelled to them, "Hey, you, stop. Where are you going? Who are you?" But they kept on going.
One of the men slips out the back door, but Richard catches up to the other one.
I said, "What are you doing?" Oh, he says, "I'm a friend of Father Tuzani."
What's in the box? Oh, this is
But Dennis doesn't miss a beat. He's been well prepped on his answer.
And he said, you just recently got an elevator installed. And we did, like the week before.
We're doing some repairs. It's the computer.
And this is the computer to program the elevator. And I said, oh, wow, yeah, you do have to program elevators, you know. And I must say this young man who was giving me this information was cool as a cucumber. I said, this kid's legit.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Oh, yeah, Merry Christmas.
The explanation seems simple enough, but Richard suspects something more is going on.
Now, as he turned to go out the door, having been raised in New York City and grown up kind of on the streets, I said to myself, there's something wrong here. So I decided to kind of lay back a little bit, follow him and see where he went. And the next thing you know is this big white SUV pulls up, and the back trunk opens up, and I see a baby carriage. And the baby carriage, I said, oh, the guy's legit. You know, he's got a family. He threw the box into the back, and he said to the driver, let's get out of here, in a very kind of harsh manner. And that kind of threw me a bit off. And then when the door came down on the back of the SUV, I noticed that the license plate was a Vermont license plate.
In the sacristy, one of the ushers has bad news for Richard.
What's going on, Nikki? They were here.
And I said, Nikki, who's they? And he said, the thieves, they took the money. And I said,
Son of a bitch!
and that was heard in the church.
Meanwhile, the unknown woman is coming too.
And a couple of the ushers ran and brought her outside, and a couple of other people that were attending Mass were also concerned. I saw Father Tizzani, and he was very serious and looked very concerned. I knew something was wrong. To have this happen on Christmas Day, when we're all so happy, spiritual, Jesus is born.
We ushers, of course, were kind of in a state of shock in a sense that here under our nose, this caper was going on.
The holiest day of the year at St. Mel's has descended into chaos.
Christmas is finally here.
It's Christmas Day at the Church of St. Mel in Flushing, Queens, New York, 2006. While the congregation listens to the sermon, two thieves stuff their stockings with nearly $20,000 in Christmas donations, much of it intended for needy children. They waste no time in splitting the spoils of the holiday heist and pull over to divvy up the cash. The personal checks do them no good, and they toss them in the East River. Satisfied their plan has worked, they part ways.
They said they were here to fix the elevator.
Back at the Church of St. Mel, New York's finest are on the scene. Lucky for them, Richard Cheetos was able to identify the thieves.
How about the vehicle? Did you get a description?
And he got one more critical piece of information.
Something told me, get the license plate number. So I committed the license plate number to memory.
BK119. Yep, that's it.
The information leads police straight to Daniel Morales.
Daniel Morales,
And on December 26th, he's arrested.
placing you under arrest. Put your hands behind your back.
I haven't done anything though.
The crime becomes a local sensation. The story of the Grinch pinch is the talk of the town.
Here it was, Christmas, slow news day, nothing really to report. And here you have a church being hit up, this Christmas caper. Everybody wanted a bit of it, and everybody wanted a bit of me.
Richard finds himself caught up in the media frenzy.
They kept on calling me a hero, and I kept on saying, I'm not a hero. What I am is a guy who saw something, and I reported it.
There was a lot of prayers going on to find out who did it, to try to get our money back, even though we said it's almost impossible. But nothing is impossible through prayer.
The church was counting on this money. It had to do with paying the electric bills and things like that, and it was all gone. The the media jumped all over the story, and they were following it closely. And the police were still investigating Daniel Morales. With the media scrutiny going on, we were closing in on the second person.
With his best buddy in custody, Dennis Almodovar knows the jig is up and gets himself an attorney.
I spoke with the police. They informed me that there was an apparent eyewitness who they say saw him walk out of the church with the box. He was a suspect. There was no way around it. He was going to have to surrender himself.
Okay, we're here for one reason.
In the interrogation room, Queens Assistant DA Robert Hannafy knows he's dealing with a rookie criminal.
I don't know if this was a crime of desperation or stupidity or what it was, but he robbed a church, at least burglarized a church on Christmas Day. That's bad form.
Hannafy is in a generous mood and offers Almodovar a Christmas gift. Return the money, and he'll make a plea bargain to keep him out of jail.
All right, I'll get it. I'll get you the money.
Almodovar tells his attorney where to find his share of the cash. It's at his home.
Look, I need a couple of hours, but I'll get you the money.
Scott Davis returns to the precinct and, like one of the three wise men, comes bearing gifts.
When I came back to the precinct, I had a shopping bag full of money. I can tell you that of all the cases that I've dealt with, I have never walked into a precinct with a shopping bag full of money.
In exchange, Almodovar pleads guilty to felony burglary and gets no jail time.
It's not like he got a walk in the park. He still was saddled with a felony conviction, which stays with him for the rest of his life.
One of my main concerns at this point was the remaining money that was missing.
Daniel Morales finds himself in the hot seat, but he has a way out. The DA gives him the same offer he gave Almodovar. Give back the rest of the money or spend 7 Christmases in the slammer.
I can get you the money.
He gets off with a misdemeanor charge for his part in driving the getaway car.
My family's gonna kill me.
This is one of the stupidest crimes I've ever seen. It was not very well planned out, and it was not very well executed, and in fact, they got caught.
It was clear to everyone in the parish that there was some inside information given out, someone who was preparing the perpetrators of this crime.
Despite the suspicions that others were involved, no one else is ever charged. In the end, the church gets more than its money back.
Hey guys, we got some more.
After the story hit the headlines, donations poured in from all over the city. And how does Usher Richard Cheetos feel about the Christmas crooks?
You know what? I felt compassion. I said, I'm glad that they were able to get off with the lightest sentence as they did. The church forgave them, and they've gone on with their lives, from what I gather.
It was a great ending for a Christmas story because the church got the money back, and that was the most important thing.